What's up, everybody? John here. Another episode of Cooking with John, and today we're going to be doing a Southern classic, and that is red beans and rice. One of my favorite dishes. To preface, if you ever unfortunately find yourself in Houston, Texas, there's a restaurant downtown called Trivium, and they do like Southern comfort cooking, so red beans and rice, gumbo, etouffee, shrimp and grits, shit like that. Really good. When I was working downtown, I used to go there every day for lunch. And this is sort of based on their red beans and rice recipe. So, ingredients: pound of red beans, red kidney beans, 2 stalks of celery, leave the leaves on, 2 medium onions, 1 bell pepper, 3 cloves of garlic, and then some spices. And so, as some of you know, in Cajun cooking, Louisiana cooking, Louisiana and East Texas have very close ties. So this is sort of a Louisiana Southern style dish. Your celery, onions, and bell pepper are the basis for a lot of Cajun recipes. They call it the Holy Trinity. The garlic, the Pope, so to speak. But what you want to do, and I guess the main difficulty with this recipe is just hurry up and wait. So you got to soak your beans overnight, and then you got to cook them for like another hour or 2 until they're tender. But what I've seen a lot of recipes do wrong. They say to drain your bean water after soaking them overnight. Please don't do that. And I'll tell you why. Because when you soak your beans overnight, the water leaches some of the flavor and the nutrients out of the beans. So if you just toss the water, you just threw away flavor and nutrients. And this is Flavor Town. So, all right. So I got my beans soaked, and this is a vegan recipe, vegetarian. I put cheese and green onions as a what do you call it? A garnish. Traditionally, this is made with some sort of smoked meat. So andouille. So smoked sausage, tasso, smoked ham hock. You can use bacon. You could even use like smoked turkey or like smoked brisket. If you're gonna make this with meat, I would not make it with just like chicken breast or with stuff like that, just because it won't impart any flavor. You want like that smoked cured meat flavor to come through with the beans, but I'm not doing that. With all the ingredients and spices, there's plenty of flavor. And yeah. Let's get started. So I will chop the celery first. I'm going to show y'all something with the bell peppers and the onions that maybe some of y'all don't know. Just an easier way of handling it. And I think I got the right camera angle for it. I'll move this over. So cut the white part of your celery. That toss, give it a good wash. So we'll move this. And yeah, so a pound of beans, I'd say maybe 2 quarts of water, because the beans are going to soak that up and expand. For the thicker part of the celery, the wider part, I like to split it in 2. When I do this, I try to sort of keep the vegetable pieces the same size as the beans, so you can get them in the same spoonful. And I'm just going to do a sort of a small chop. Dice. And I know some people don't like celery. I love celery. It's a very underrated vegetable. And what you're going to do with all this stuff, you're just going to throw all this shit in the pot real easy. And then yeah, let me see if I can get this camera angle right to show you all the onions and bell peppers. It'll save you some time, save you some no more tears, as Ozzy said it. Let's see if I do this correctly. Ooh, we are in business. All right, start with the bell pepper. So a lot of people, they will like carve it down and around the stem. Easier way of doing this, cut the bottom off. And then from here, just cut around the pit and the seeds. Get some of that. Your pit. There you have it. Some people are kind of anal about the white part. I don't really give a shit. I don't really like wasting food, so I'll just leave all that in there. And then, same old story. Just cut this here, cut this half. We'll do, little segments. Don't worry about the seeds. Move this over. So one of my kitchen jobs was in a Cajun restaurant. So worked with a lot of people from Louisiana. So I picked up some tricks from them. Houston has a lot of people from Louisiana. Just after Hurricane Katrina, a lot of people said fuck it and they came to Houston. Which is kind of tragic too, because a lot of people left Louisiana because of Hurricane Katrina, and then they came here and got hit with Harvey. So they lost everything in Katrina, and then lost everything in Harvey, which was a devastating hurricane. For anyone curious, the largest rainfall event in U.S. history. 3 cloves of garlic. The recipe calls for garlic powder, I think. Just use garlic, and you don't have to chop it. It's just whatever. It's going to be boiling in a pot, so all the flavor will come out. Now for the cebolla, hopefully these are in good shape. Just cut this, get that outer layer. Yeah, it's alright. We'll do it like this. Hey, dumbass! What the fuck are you doing? Can you not? Oh, I know what it is. She wants her treats. She almost fucking broke my laptop. Alright, let's get all this shit off. Drop some on the floor. Hey, Stinky, can you stop? Alright, almost in business. Stinky. My pet terrorist. Alright, can you stop? I know. Alright, moving on. So, this is just something to do. It's not really a trick or anything. It's just... So when you're dicing onions, you don't want your onions like sliding all over the place and shit. So here's how you solve that. Let's do it like this. Now here, do not cut all the way through lengthwise. So you'll do maybe like 9/10 of the way. Again, just like a medium dice, I guess. And that way it holds everything in place. And it's nice and tidy. You don't have shit sliding all over the place. And then when you get to the end, you can just, whatever. There's this one going in. And it can be a little messy sometimes, but it'll stay on the cutting board. You won't have little like onion slices shooting everywhere. Let's get all this in. And then once you have all this done, you're going to boil everything together for maybe an hour or so. And I'm not going to record that whole hour. I got to just go do other shit while I wait. You want to stir it intermittently, so the beans don't stick to the bottom, but maybe like once every 15-20 minutes or so. And the other one I didn't mention, bay leaves. So you want some bay leaves. Get all this shit in the pot. And from here, while you'll bring it up to a boil, and once you get it up to a boil, turn it down to a simmer. So I'm going to move the camera back. I guess I can show you the pot before I do that. So you got all your stuff chopped up in there. Let's put the camera back here. How are we looking? Doing all right. All right, so here you have it. From here, put a couple of spices in. So maybe, I think like 2 bay leaves, maybe 3. Start with 2, see what happens. 2 bay leaves. Oh, let me turn this shit on. I think the recipe says to add your spices and stuff at the end. Whatever, doesn't really matter. A little oregano. Some salt. And again, with salt, you can always add more salt. You can't take it out. So I'll put a little bit in. And as with all cooking, test as you go to see what needs more. Some herbs du Provence, provincial herbs. Get it nice and there. Got some Cajun seasoning. And then, let's see, where is it? This little cayenne, give it a little zing. If it would come out. And if I can find it, smoked paprika. Because again, I'm not using, where the fuck is it? I gotta arrange this shit, man. Red pepper, chili. Here we go. Smoked paprika. So we're not using smoked meat, so this helps to impart some of that flavor. Now, if you were gonna put meat in this, here's how you would do it. So take your ham hock or your bacon or your sausage, just cut it up into whatever, or if it's a ham hock, just throw the whole fucking thing in. You want to brown the meat, get some of the grease out, some of the fat out, and then take the meat out once it's browned or cooked a little bit. Cook your vegetables in that, soften them up, then throw all that shit in the pot, and then get it going. And that's how you would make it with meat. Growing up, jambalaya, red beans and rice, we always had it with andouille before I stopped eating meat. So sausage is always a good bet. Get the spatula, mix all this shit together. And then, as it's cooking, if you notice the water is kind of drying up, you can add more water. No big deal. Make sure everything gets mixed nice. We'll bring that up to a boil. Let it cook for like an hour or so. Stir it intermittently. You don't want it sticking or burning. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Again, the most difficult part about this is just the waiting game. So soaking the beans overnight and then cooking them for like an hour or so. Just depends on how long you soak them. So I soaked them before I went to bed last night at like 11, and it's 3 o'clock now, so it probably won't be more than an hour or so. And I will end the video here, and then we'll come back when it's all done. I'll show you the garnish. I'll have some rice made and the finished product. So peace, y'all. See you in a bit. All right, so we're back. Took a little longer than I thought it would, but it's done. And so when you get to this point, some people just like the beans by themselves, like untouched. Some people will puree it with like a blender. I like to kind of go half and half. So you'll take your meat beater, your other meat beater, and you will mash it down to try to get a nice thicker consistency. So, shit looks bomb, dude. Alright, and try it. Could use a little longer, but I got shit to do. Yeah. Right, keep it on. So you're just gonna mash. Basically, where it's like a porridge with like beans sticking out of it, if that makes sense. And I've got the rice made. And while I was stirring it in the interim, I did add some more seasoning. So the seasoning, it's salt, pepper, paprika, provincial herbs, or just oregano. And that's all to taste, really. Some people like a milder one. I kind of like a more spiced version. Add some hot sauce to it too. If you like spicy food. Looking bomb, boy. All right. I got the rice made. Throw all this shit in the sink. And I'm going to prepare the garnish. So this goes really well with cheddar cheese and green onions, as well as my favorite hot sauce, the Tabasco habanero. If you haven't had it, this in my opinion is the best hot sauce ever. The original Tabasco is alright. To me it's just like vinegar with a little spice to it. I don't really like super vinegar based sauces. This one is like fruit based, so it's made out of it's got like mango and papaya and banana in it, and it's just a really nice like floral fruity habanero sauce. Very hot too, so you've been warned. So bust out the green onions. Always a good addition to any dish in my opinion. And it's up to you how much you want to use. Let's give it a good rinse. Try not to get fucking plastic in it. Alright, I think that's a good amount. And now let's do the plating. So again, fairly easy dish to make. It's crowd pleaser if I'm being honest. I make it for my family sometimes, they'll love it. You know, if you got like a lady friend coming over or a guy friend, if that's your style, we don't discriminate. It's a good one. It's just good hearty beans, man. So, I kind of burnt the rice. Oh well. It'll make a turd. Alright. And I'm not the biggest fan of rice, so I usually go like 2 parts beans to 1 part rice. So the beans are the main attraction, you know. And Really, the rice is just there to soak up all the juices and all that fun stuff. So, I'm gonna unplug this. Where'd I put the spoon? What the fuck? Oh, I didn't pull it out. Okay. Alrighty. Your shredded cheese on it. Please